We're doing Virginia's recipes today, and we're starting with a Georgia peach souffle, which just sounds like the name of an opera or something to me. So you tell me how to help you get started.
Well, what we're going to do, I've got some fresh peaches here.
Okay.
And I'm going to peel them, and what this is, it's a souffle using the meringue method.
Ah.
So we're basically making like a chopped puree that we'll put in the bottom of the ramekins, like a little bit of goodness at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. A little sweet.
A little bit of sweet at the bottom, and then I'm going to continue pureeing it till it's a smoothie consistency.
Ah.
We're going to fold that into the egg whites.
Okay,
so it's a meringue. So
should I peel?
why don't you peel a peach for me? Why don't you peel a peach?
So when Virginia says the meringue method, Virginia's a combination of real down-home Southern cook learning from your grandma and French technique, serious professional, studied in France. And the combination of the two is kind of like a match made in heaven.
Well, thank you. I like it.
Yeah. So
it
that
works
means,
for me.
I mean, if I remember correctly, you went to France to learn to cook, and you ended up staying, well, to really learn technique,
right.
and then you didn't really leave for many years,
No,
right?
I was supposed to be there for 3 months, and I was there for 3 years.
Oh, my goodness.
And people always ask me, like, they think I fell in love. Like, did you fall in love? And I did. I fell in love with France.
With France.
With France. So this is a freestone peach. Literally, like the stone comes out easily.
Okay.
And there's also clean stone peaches. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of coarsely chop.
Okay.
Because we're going to put them in the food processor. And so I'm going to put in two to three, depending on the size. And I grew up 1 county over from Peach County.
Peach County, literally?
Peach County, literally.
Oh, my goodness. So what was that like? You just had the most flawless peaches when you were little?
We used to go pick peaches. We would go to the orchards, like the farmers that we knew. We would go and pick, and you've never been hot
until you've been peaches in
the
Georgia.
Middle of, peach orchard in Georgia.
So you're just going to pulse that a little bit? I love reading, when you write about food, about your relationship with your grandma.
Yeah.
And you call her
Mimi.
Mimi. And it was one of those real storybook stories where you were at her feet in the kitchen making biscuits, right?
Yes. They used to put me in the sink. It was a double sink, and they would put me on one side of the sink while she would shell butter beans. It was like my baby chair.
Oh, my goodness. Do you have any photographs of that? Oh, that sounds so cute.
So look, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to do it. I'll do the first one, but basically you put like 2 tablespoons in the bottom of each ramekin. Okay, so I'll scoot some out for you, and then I'll ask you to
sure, of course.
do that for me, please. So we take about 3/4 of a cup.
And just put it in the bottom, and then when they cook, this gets all kind of melty on the bottom, but then you've got a bit of souffle thing from the egg whites, right? Because I separated a bunch of eggs for you, too.
Yes, and the thing that's really important, and this is something that I learned from Anne in France, is about how well to butter the souffle ramekins. So one of the hints is to butter them and then put them in the refrigerator, let the butter harden, and then you can really clearly see where it wasn't buttered.
That's so smart. So you mean Anne Willen, the great chef and cooking teacher, and it's those tiny little bits of details that make such a difference in cooking. And of course, I love to hear that because I think, of course, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. The fat's going to harden.
Right. And you can really clearly see it.
Yeah.
So what I've done here, I've just put in a pinch of salt because salt's going to help bring out the flavor. And I'm going to put in the juice of 1 lemon, and no seeds on that side.
Great.
These are nice. This is, they're different, they're different kind of ways to make souffle. So this is the meringue method, and this is really easy.
Super easy.
People are so intimidated by souffles, and they don't have to be.
Speaking of meringue, should I get this going?
That sounds good.
So I separated 7 eggs. I have 7 egg whites in here. So you want me to just get it rolling with a pinch of salt, or?
Yes, what I like to do is start it with a little bit of salt and get them frothy before you start adding the sugar. Okay. Because otherwise the sugar is too heavy. So if you get it frothy a little bit,
then you've got something.
Yeah.
That's French technique for you right there. Warring machines. Okay, now just a little bit of sugar to get going, about a tablespoon, right? And then I want to go how far with these?
We start at frothy, then start adding the sugar, and then what we'll do is we'll take it all the way up to stiff peaks.
Okay. All right. I'm going in with 3/4 a cup more sugar. You just added some vanilla there, right?
Yeah.
How much?
About a teaspoon.
Teaspoon of vanilla. All right, Virginia. Our egg whites and sugar are whipped.
Those look pretty.
Aren't they pretty? Virginia's visiting here from Atlanta to show me her secret tips for delicious Southern food. And we're starting with the Georgia peach souffle. And we have basically pureed some peaches. And what else have we got? We have a little bit of peach in there. We have some peaches pureed in here. And this is egg whites with sugar, which I love meringue. Couldn't help myself.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is actually you can use that.
Okay.
We're going to take a little bit of that meringue mixture and lighten our peaches.
Okay.
And I just usually yeah.
Or you want to just mix it with
That's
that?
fine. We can do this. This is fine.
Okay.
So we used fresh peaches.
Okay.
But you could use, if you wanted, you could use frozen peaches.
That's a good thing to know because sometimes you can't get fresh peaches like you do down there in Atlanta. Where
exactly.
Peach Central, right?
Exactly.
So
Peach
we
County.
have some well-buttered souffle cups here, or basically ramekins. And in the bottom is just some chopped up peaches. And I like what you're doing here. Talk about why you put a little bit of the meringue into the peach instead of just dumping the whole thing in.
So as you know, what happens is the peach is sort of heavy and the meringue is really light. And if we put the heavy peaches with the light meringue, it would just sink. So what I've done here is lightened this peach mixture so they're more similar. When I pureed the peaches, what we want to do is reserve about a cup. So depending on the size of the peach, depending on how fine you puree it, you might have a little bit left over, and that's fine for smoothie or ice cream topping or whatever it need to be.
So you're now incorporating all of them together, and the weights are a little bit more similar, so they will mix better, right?
Exactly. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it. It's different from stirring. I'm going to start at the back and turn the bowl.
So you keep it inflated, is that the idea?
Exactly, because you've just spent all this time making this beautiful meringue, and you don't want to deflate it. So, see, this is just lightly mixed.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty color, too.
And then what I like to use is an ice cream scoop.
Okay.
To help fill the soufflés.
This makes it a little bit easier to get it in?
Just easier, exactly.
Okay. Now, is this recipe one of your inventions, or is this one that comes from your mama or your grandma?
No, this is my invention.
This is
definitely the Bon Appetit y'all part, the Southern and the French going together.
What about when you were growing up, what was one of your favorite things that your grandma did with peaches?
Well, we always put peaches up in the summertime. So Mimi would make jelly, we would make jam, we would freeze frozen peaches, and we would make peach ice cream.
Yum.
You know.
And then you'd have those delicious peaches all year round,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So I preheated the oven for you to 400 degrees.
Okay.
And that's all we need. And now, how long do those cook?
These only take about 8 to 10 minutes. And so
my gosh, yummy.
You don't want to, we don't want to do them too far ahead, but if you needed to, you could.
Yeah.
Okay. So we level them out smooth, clean edges, and then I'll take my thumb and pull it around.
Making like a
little channel, and it helps the souffle shoot straight up.
Oh, so that's when you see one in a restaurant that just goes straight up, that's what happens.
Exactly.
Didn't ever know that.
So they need to be smooth on top, just like this. Perfect.
I've got jalapeno pepper all over my fingers right now.
That would be a really different souffle.
All right, so the jalapeno pepper is definitely for the glaze that we're making for these incredible chicken wings. Here, I think you're gonna have to smooth that over a little bit.
Let's make a channel.
Okie doke.
Okay, so I'm gonna get these in the oven.
Our soufflés are ready.
Yes,
Let's
they
get
are.
them. Souffle time is now time. That's just the way it is.
No one waits for souffle.
No.
Look how beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're peach soufflés, Georgia peach soufflés.